Let's talk IoT, stadium Wi-Fi, and more with Aptilo Network CEO Paul Mickelson here at CTIA Supermobility Week 2015.
You're watching YBL TV.
What's the next step for carrier Wi-Fi and offloading?
What we have seen now for the last 4 or 5 years is that offloading has been all about trying to move away traffic from a poor kind of 3G network where you didn't have the right capacity, and you tried to get kind of a substitute in the Wi-Fi network, so you actually move traffic from 3G to Wi-Fi. Next step as we see it now is that now we start to talk more about right sizing or unloading traffic to the Wi-Fi network. And that means that Wi-Fi is so spread today and has certain capabilities that you don't have in the 3G networks or the LTE network when it comes to certain applications and so on, that a lot of operators actually prefer to get the customer into the Wi-Fi network. So it's not about trying to get rid of traffic from 3G to Wi-Fi, it's about actually actively moving them to Wi-Fi. And that is a big difference, because now you can see that the operators start to treat the Wi-Fi as a more real part of the heterogeneous network strategy they have. They actually see Wi-Fi as a good radio technology that is worthwhile to have the same status as the other radio access methods that they are using. And they try to get it into their heterogeneous approach.
Let's talk about stadium Wi-Fi. How can stadium Wi-Fi bring in revenue, retain customers using location-based data, personalized data, and information?
Yeah. First of all, I think you said retain customers. I think we have to start there. Looking into a stadium situation, having 10,000s of users into such a small area, very high density, so the capacity from the traditional network is not coping with that. So first of all, the operator needs to have Wi-Fi and distributed antenna system, the DAS systems, to really cope with that situation. Otherwise they have unhappy customers. You get churn and you lose out on revenue long-term perspective. That is the fundamental part, to really ask to cater for the needs of your existing customers. I think there is a tremendous opportunity for the stadium and the operator to add on more features, so to say, from a monetization point of view. You can order food, hot dog, popcorn, whatever. There is so much more that you can actually package, and you can partly do that as a free courtesy service to get a better user experience when you go to the game and you want to come back and actually visit the game on site instead of looking from home in the television. And also you can actually package services that people are prepared to pay for.
IoT and the carriers, what's next for them? How can they stay ahead of the curve?
It's a good question. I mean, looking at this show, every operator talks about IoT, or more or less every provider here talks about IoT. But if we take it from a perspective, I mean, IoT or machine-to-machine communication has been around for a long time, 15, 20 years. But it's true that I think the operator has come to a situation where there's a saturation in the revenues and they need to find new revenue streams. If a person today have 3 devices, a phone, an iPad and a laptop, yeah, you may get another 4th or 5th device, but you're not going to get 100 more devices. But when it talks about IoT, everything you have in your home, everything you're using can be a potential device. And obviously the operator is really kind of interested to get part of that revenue flow, potential revenue flow. I think they have a tremendous good starting point due to the fact that they have the network there, so they have the pipe that is required. But I think also that there will be a lot of competition, because you see players like Google coming in there, providing home gateways with certain IoT functionalities. And I'm sure that a lot of the providers of these devices or things that you are going to use in the future that is going to be connected, they are also going to provide kind of additional services on top of as a package. So I think that it's about the operator to find how they can both kind of provide good services on behalf of all these vendors, but also cooperate with them so that they don't just run into kind of a furious war about who's doing what. I think there is room for both the vendors and the carriers. AT&T is doing a lot of good work there, so I think a lot of operators around the world will follow that track.